From chubby, nice guy who played too much video games that didn't mean shit to jacked and traveling the world. Here's the thing. Women did not start treating me differently because I lost body fat, right? This ain't no Ozempic quick fix bullshit, right? Women started treating me differently because I became competent at real freaking life, right? Because I, one, looked like a man who could take care of himself, because that's what you learn to do eventually. Because my body, it basically told the story as I walked in the room, right? Like my body is the resume. And this is the part that stings for a lot of guys, because when I was overweight, undisciplined, gaming all night on my computer, whatever it may be, Xbox, all of them, really. I was living off the dopamine hits of like leveling my RuneScape character up in my dad's basement, right? I was invisible to women. I was seen as weak, trying to help fix girls by giving them tons of attention and validation with my words or text messages, right? I was the weak, nice guy with nothing to give but pity. But I eventually changed, and that change sparked everything else. When I got lean, when I got jacked, when my posture changed, when my energy shifted altogether, that's when the world changed for me. How women behaved around me changed, right? And not because women are shallow or don't have like restraint or anything, right? But because as a man, biology doesn't give a fuck about your feelings. And women also don't care about your feelings at the end of the day. They want someone who is proof of hard work and competence. But they don't give a fuck how you got to be that way. That's the truth. They just know it when they see it. That's all that matters to them. And today I'm going to talk about what getting jacked taught me about women. So I'll cover it all. There's a lot of juicy stories I kind of want to tell. The good. We'll get into the bad, the uncomfortable truths, the kind of privileges, so to speak, from being better looking, fit. But we're also going to cover some traps. So get ready for it. And why, of course, being the nice guy isn't the flex you think, like I thought in the past. One of my biggest lessons getting jacked taught me this. So your intention and her intention are often not the same, right? This can depend. And it's not like evil or anything, this is just reality of the situation, right? So you might be looking for a long-term relationship or something, right? She might be just looking for some fun for a night. Or you might be looking for fun and she might be auditioning you for husband material, right? It's different. But here's the key. Being fit will always help. Basically any of those situations. No matter what the intention is, from your intentions or her intentions, being fit's gonna help. So if you're just looking to hook up, let's be real. Some girls on Tinder or whatever will see you the same way people will see like a sports car, right? Like you don't drive a Porsche 911 or something because it's practical, right? You buy it because you want to feel something when you drive. And no one's really going to turn down a test drive, right? That's just how attraction works, even for women, depending on their vibes at the time, cyclically or in their life, right? But the truth is, a fit body gives you that Hollywood look, right? It separates you from the crowd, like the average man. And the bar's low, especially, the sea of dudes who just drink toxic liquor every weekend. You will stand out from them. The guys that eat greasy food, sleep like garbage, and just wonder why their confidence is low, right? Their vice is getting smashed. Meanwhile, like my vice is white monster and, shredded aesthetics, right? So you walk into the same room as like the soft, inebriated regular at the bar or a club, you stand out instantly just by walking in there. And speaking of this scene, let's talk real world here. So when it comes to clubs, when it comes to bars or like the lounges, if you're fit, you are already playing on easy mode just by not playing that game often. All you need to do is capture attention by being confident. And then when you find someone enough, with enough give and take, then you don't have to stay at that club until like 3 a.m. You get to lead the next move, right? There's no need to wait until they turn on the lights and everyone scatters like freaking cockroaches at the end of the night, trying to convince someone to go back to their place within, 30 seconds of the lights coming on. I've literally seen this play out at gigs before where the lights go on. It's perfect time to people watch. It's hilarious. You'll see the lowest forms out there. Now let's go back to how you can impress that confidence and really just exude it the best in the club, bar, or lounge scene, right? So it's important you don't dress like a douchebag or wear clothes from Walmart, right? So once you get jacked, how you present your physique becomes the next like skill tree to check off and be better at, right? So fitted clothes, tailored if possible, form-fitting, even casual shirt that's nice and form-fitting, nothing overly baggy, casual or a nice dress shirt that hugs the shoulders and chest well enough, but not trying too hard is the qualifier, right? You don't need designer bullshit. Don't do this stupid shit. You just need clothes that respect your frame as you're presenting it, right? Highlight your features. And your body's already doing most of the talking, right? Your outfit just needs to interrupt the conversation by proving that your body is so aesthetic, it's almost a crime to hide it in, an oversized hoodie or clothing. And women will notice, right? They notice things like how you move. They notice how you stand. They notice how you take up space without even trying hard. Like some people try to dominate space and it's just pretty ridiculous and whatever, So that confidence, that strength, and how you present yourself is huge. It's not, learned in a book. It's basically built in the gym. So let's go back to dating a little bit. Hookups get extremely easier, right? But there's the thing that happens, right? Because what if you want something more than just physical stimulation at some point? What if you want a girl that brings you peace, some real connection, someone who you actually want to stay over instead of call an Uber right before you even put your shoes on? What if you want a woman who adds, to your life instead of drains your life, right? So this is the truth that most guys don't want to hear either when it comes to this. It's kind of absent-minded of women in a way to realize this. And it's the fact that most women may appreciate a fit guy in the long term, but they don't want the gym to be his entire personality, right? And based on the way you make them feel matters a lot because they don't want competition anxiety, right? Some women get turned off knowing that every woman wants you. That's a big turnoff for a lot of women. It makes them super anxious. It makes them feel extremely replaceable, I would put it, right? So there is an opposite though, because other women will actually level the fuck up when they realize, you're a high status. They will double down on becoming the best version of themselves because they want to match the standard that you've set, right? It's not competition. It's more inspiration and that feminine nature following your lead. And you don't find this like power couple dynamic by being that needy, nice guy, thinking a girl will settle for you because you actually listen to them whine about everything they're about to go through, before they have their period, right? Next. This is one of my favorite lessons. So here's something getting jacked taught me very clearly. And it's the fact that women will test men constantly. And it's not because they're evil, right? But it's because attraction without safety is meaningless. So women are going to test all different facets. But they want to know things like why you're fit. Are you fit because you just want to bang as many women as possible, right? Are you fit because you used to play sports or something? Or are you fit because you respect your health and your future? They might ask you this question directly, or they might never even say a word and just prod in different ways. But they're always watching your actions. They're always listening carefully to the words you choose. And some of them will test if your training time is, sacred enough to let them distract you by texting you constantly while you're at the gym, right? They might even test to see if you'll skip a gym day for them, right? See if you'll abandon your routine. If your discipline collapses the moment temptation shows up in whatever form, if you fold, attraction can die pretty quickly. Not, loudly, but usually pretty quietly over time, right? So remember this. Girls will try super hard to change a man. And when the man actually does change, only then does the girl lose interest. It's facts. Online dating these days is wild, especially traveling, but all the wild stories I could probably tell. Well, let me describe something more constant in the past couple years. And this is just simply hilarious to me because it's been a running theme the past couple years. And it is crazy vegan women. In the past 2 years alone, So I've dated 3 vegan women in the past 2 years, not by my choice either, right? All 3 of these dates turned out to be disasters because look, I filter vegans out as soon as I see, they're vegan in their bio or something. And yes, I actually read bios and look through basically all their pictures. That's just how I roll. But hear me out. These most recent vegan women, they didn't even tell me usually until the day of that they were vegan, right? Like first date. So picture this. You already picked out a great Italian restaurant by the beach in Portugal, say, just for example. You're thinking of ordering the veal parm, foreplay with a little bit of garlic cheesy bread action for the appetizer, right? This is a vibe to get anyone's mouth watering, right? Garlic cheesy bread. I mean, look, I can tell just through the screen, you're already craving that cheesy garlic bread right now. Your mouth is watering, right? I know mine is. So suddenly you sit down at the restaurant and your date says, "Oh, by the way, I'm vegan." And you're like, cool. She's fine eating garlic stuffed olives a la carte while you sit there awkwardly recalibrating the entire night, almost offended to eat garlic cheesy bread in front of her. That's a shit test, man. And in my experience, vegan women are disproportionately represented on dating apps for a reason. A couple reasons, I think. And when their real personality comes out, this is the big thing. It's often a moral superiority, like mixed with rigidity and zero compromise, right? Look, mental health is extremely important, and chronic nutrient deficiencies from being a vegan, layered with that moral grandstanding, like fallback, it does not help mental health or relationships. This enables mental dysfunction, the vegan diet. It disrupts natural masculine-feminine dynamics for both sexes to be vegan, and it amplifies the longer the malnutrition goes on, really. So look, if that offends you, that's fine. This is my lived experience. That is all I'm talking on right now. I could make an entire video just explaining my run-ins with vegans. Super crazy. I had to get out of freaking Portugal eventually, but y'all need help. That's all I'll say. And let me tell you, food compatibility matters a lot in a relationship. So even my longest relationship of 7 years with just a vegetarian, and she started eating fish at the end of it too, our relationship near the end suffered, like the past couple, like last years. And I transformed my body and saw, food is more than just calories. So, that put a strain on things a bit. So getting jacked in that regard also hurt it. So when I was eating grass-fed sirloin with my mini poodle, sharing it, my girlfriend, she had to find the time to make herself something or mooch off of our side dish, which I may or may not have made. So look, concessions can always be made, right? But these small frictions, even with no judgment, can be something that separates you eventually, right? Lifestyle compatibility matters, of course. Values that make everything else up, those matter too. And whether the woman is masculinized to, or just to defy everything, or feminized to follow into your value set makes a big difference. And food is one of the fastest filters out there. So I'd arguably say that food and sharing, the table is how most people show love, right? And on that note, let me backtrack just a little bit. So some of you guys may be doing the online thing and simply need to just prove yourself, from that first picture. And you can do it by, of course, presenting yourself better on your profile. That first picture matters so much. And as a fit guy with real photos, your dating app will skyrocket. But here's the mistake that a lot of guys make. You should not make the gym selfie your, main go-to. This should not be part of your personality at all from what she can tell. So a shirtless mirror selfie, that just screams like fling, like short-term fun, which if that's your intention, whatever. But if you want to be more than that, you probably should actually even contrast it. So this is one of the biggest things that I would do. So the juxtaposition of contrast can be huge, especially for women's emotions. So instead of a gym selfie that you look fit, think of a main profile photo like this. Fit guy with visible bicep veins, popping a little bit, in a fitted shirt that's nice, holding a bowl of like frozen yogurt with sprinkles. Or, a dude in the same fitted shirt, forearm veins bulging a little bit, cooking meat at a Korean barbecue, on that table grill. That photo will do wonders. It'll filter out vegans for one. It signals like warmth. It signals that like provider of at least meat. It signals normalcy and realism by enjoying life, but also structuring, that good life that maintains fitness by getting your protein in with Korean barbecue, right? And it also foreshadows like your second date, because remember, you should learn from me. Don't find out she's a vegan after you've booked a restaurant on date number 1. Do the midday coffee shop date, if at all possible, first. Then the second date, you can plan for dinner. Screen out the vegans after coffee date. Because food, of course, is the comfort. Food is bonding. Food is life, right? So with this yummy like food juxtaposition with your nice physique preview, you know, laid back smile or something, you're setting the frame before you even get to match. And yeah, gym selfies can attract attention for, you know, people just trying to get laid and show off their body. But lifestyle photos build that attraction. So if you want more, you know, that's what you should go for. So getting jacked, let's talk a little bit deeper. Getting jacked taught me the purpose of not being the nice guy, like I said, right? Because I used to be that nice guy, like not simpage, but I was overweight. I was neglecting myself on every level, really. I had a dead end freaking life, man. I was dumping hundreds of days of game time into RuneScape, leveling up a pixelated character, while my life stagnated, right? I catered to women, trying to fix them in every way I thought I could. You know, I thought that that care would be reciprocated by them because I'm a nice guy, right? Wrong. So as a man, learn this. You must prove that you can take care of yourself first. That's the key. Not offer attention as your main value that you give to women. It's about discipline. It's about structure. It's about competence. And getting jacked is the physical embodiment of doing all those hard things on the daily, right? Training, shopping, cooking, sleeping, repeat, right? It's all doing it in your free time too. So not being too busy or beat up after your work shift, right? No excuses, because women don't give a fuck. When you exemplify and present a physique that is built from doing hard shit that no one else wants to do, frankly, that is masculine energy in motion, right? It's being learned. It's being ingrained, like every rep. But that's not all, because being noticeably lean and muscular signals something even deeper to women. It tells women this man has self-control. This man has healthy hormone levels, and she might even be able to smell it from pheromones, potentially. This man knows the value of delaying gratification, right? In a world where almost no one can control themselves and their urges, in a world where no one can look away from their phone for a full 15 minutes or take a hit from a vape pen, you know, like it's a baby pacifier or some shit, you'll stand out everywhere. By having your energy change on that level, where your presence changes just at a base foundation, you know, people will feel your energy, feel your vibes. I know women definitely feel it. They pick up on it. And men usually envy it, right? You don't need to say anything. You don't need anything outside of what you already have dialed in for yourself, for your life, for that frequency you set. Your body already paid its dues and is stronger for it. Now, let me wrap this up in a bow real quick. So, what did getting jacked teach me about women? Plain and simple. The attraction is honest. What women think a dad bod is not the fat guy who let himself go, you know, screaming at the television at the bar because his football team sucks. The dad bod to women is actually a muscular man who works hard. To women, remember, they don't care if you go to the gym 5 times a week or once a week. They don't care. Some would probably prefer if you didn't go to the gym at all. But what they realize is that when you become a fat slob, they wonder why they aren't attracted to you anymore. And sometimes they'll even find you creepy, right? It's disconnected for some women. Some women, it doesn't compute in their head. So you have to stay strong on your own values and your discipline for your freaking self. Because what is truly attractive to women is that discipline. Discipline is that daddy energy. And actual feminine women want to be sternly told no for the sake of being disciplined by a real fucking man. Remember, being nice is never enough. You must build yourself first. Build, you know, not for women. Build yourself up. If not for yourself, do it because women respond to men who fucking respect themselves. And if you do that, then you'll never need to beg for attention ever again. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any other topics that you need me to cover or want anything, just let me know. You know, I'm inspired by doing some of these things, some ideas I get from people. So it'd be great to get some feedback from you guys. Comment in the comments what you think. Is this true? Have you been on a weird date with a vegan woman? Tell me in the comments. I want to crowdsource this shit, run it up. I want to hear all your crazy vegan stories, and maybe I'll tell you some of mine as well in future videos. So thanks for your time. Hope you guys enjoy. We'll be in touch. Click the links, do the like, do the subscribe, do all the good stuff for the algorithm, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace, man.